Again, I just want to thank you for joining me. I really appreciate you taking time out this evening. And this is my first official workshop. It's I launched Improve Your Finances on August 1st, and this is my first webinar on one of the topics that I'm very aware of and I know a lot about. And so I wanted to share this information with you. And I'll just tell you a little bit about myself before we get into the webinar, just so you have an understanding of what I do and my background. And again, my name is Yolanda Ransom, and I'm a certified financial coach and consultant. And my company is Improve Your Finances. And I have over 20 years experience in the financial services industry. I've worked in a variety of roles, such as payroll processor, client account manager, um, financial counselor, which I most recently did as a employee at the New York City Office of Financial Empowerment. So at that office, I worked to counsel clients in financial matters, and I was able to help them with the things that we'll be discussing tonight. So I've worked for various companies such as H&R Block, Xerox, the New York City Board of Ed, CUNY. In fact, every semester I help students online. I'm doing that right now as a matter of fact, and I help them understand how to do online courses. And so I've done a lot of advising, coaching, and counseling, and I really love doing that. And just so you know, I just want to let you know a little about my background. My family, I came from New York City. I'm from New York, and I grew up on public benefits. My family did not have money, a lot of money, and so through a lot of trial and error, I learned a lot about money and how to handle it along the way. I worked my way up from minimum wage jobs up until where I am now. And as I got promoted, I learned things. I did really well at my job. I'm smart, I'm fast, but I gained more money. But along the way, I didn't learn how to handle that money. So I kept getting more money. And then I would make mistakes, like getting into debt and things like that. And so what happened was I was having these problems. And I said, let me look up some stuff, let me see what I can do about this. So I started looking up a lot of information about how to manage finances. And that's how I finally gained a lot of knowledge on my own. But I noticed that I really enjoyed learning about personal finance. So I moved into that professionally. And so that is how I am where I am today. So as I mentioned, I've worked for a lot of different companies, and I've helped with various types of financial services. And again, my most recent position was as a certified financial counselor. And I completed the certification training for New York City's Department of Consumer Affairs. So I am qualified to coach clients, and I did that. I had more than 100 coaching sessions where I helped clients to get a better handle on their money. So I want you to just strap in. We're going to go through some of those steps that I use with those clients successfully and that I also use for myself. And at the end of the webinar, I do have a bonus thank you gift for you. And I also have a special offer. So please stick around to the end and I will definitely share those with you, okay? And so now I'm just going to get right into our webinar for the evening. And again, this is 5 steps to improve your money flow in 30 days. And actually, I'm going to go back because I just want to tell you something. Before we start, I want to let you know what you're going to learn today, okay? Today, you're going to learn 5 steps to improve your money flow in 30 days. And I'm not offering any quick fixes. That's not what I'm going to be talking about today, but these are going to be tried and true steps that have worked for me, and as I mentioned, for those that I've worked with, okay? So what you're going to learn are a few things today. You're going to learn what mental approach you need. You're going to learn how to figure out where you stand financially. You're going to learn how to address your financial situation and where and how to make improvements to achieve financial progress. So these 5 steps are going to explain how to do that, all right? And so we're going to go to the first slide, which you probably saw already, but which is very important. And the first step is check your mind. Number one. Number one. This is first because so many times when you hear about financial matters or financial practices, this is something that's really not addressed that much, not in my opinion, not really as sufficiently according to how valuable it is and how important it is. And so it's number one because the thing is, a lot of us, including myself at different times, we face financial challenges, setbacks. We've had things that have thrown us off course. And what happens is that you can start to feel defeated, like you can't make any headway. You can't really do anything about your situation. But the truth is you can. You really can. And that's what you really must start with, that you decide you can do this. You may not know exactly how, but you can do this. And with the right tools and information, you can. And I know you can. And that's the first step. And then the next part of your mind, checking your mind, is decide that you're worth it. You know, you are worth it. Because again, I'm just going to be honest, there are so many messages, especially for Black women as myself. There are so many messages that we get day in and day out that we're not worth it in a variety of ways. And then there's so many ways that can happen in other ways. So the thing is, this is something where you make that decision and you say, you know what, I'm worth it. And you are. You deserve the best in life. I do. You do. And you make that decision that you're worth whatever it's going to take, whatever time, energy, investment needed for you to get where you want to go financially. You make that decision and you value yourself. And the thing is, this will involve you, because you're worth it, making a commitment to stick with your plan, even when you slip up and fall, because you will do that. That happens. That always happens, you know? I mean, if you have habits that are bad, at some point, if you're trying to change them, you're not always going to get it right on the first try, right? So that's something that you keep in mind when you're moving forward. And then another thing, money, it makes us emotional. That's just the bottom line, right? It conjures up all kinds of feelings like guilt, shame, worry, stress, anxiety. You know, because our money is tied to security, right? Our feelings of security. And it's so easy to get upset and thrown off because of money. But in order to look at it overall in the big picture, you have to detach your emotions. So you step back so you can get an overview of everything, okay? So that is key to this as well. And view money as what it is. It is a tool. You know, it's a very powerful tool, but it is a tool. So it's something that you can use and you can learn how to use it to serve you better, all right? So that's first step of number one, check your mind, okay? Okay, we're going to go to step number two. Number two, check your goals. And I'm going to offer a definition here, okay? I read this recently. I was reading The Power of Focus, a really good book, and I'm going to give you the definition that they provided, and I think it's really a good one. It says, a goal is the ongoing pursuit of a worthy objective until it is accomplished. And I'm going to read that one more time. A goal is the ongoing pursuit of a worthy objective until it is accomplished. And so the key things here are ongoing. It's going to take consistent, effort, ongoing, and until it is accomplished. And whether you have a big or a small goal, there is an ongoing need to work at it so you can get that accomplished. So what you will need to do now to figure out how to make your money flow better, you want to check your goals. What are your goals exactly for your money? And you create a list of your top 5 money goals. So you sit down, you write down that list, and then you will need to decide your priorities. Which are your top 2 goals? And there are a couple of ways you can figure that out. To help you decide which goals that you should put, or that are best to put towards the top, you can do two things. You can approach it from which goal will have the most immediate benefit upon your life, or you can do the reverse. Which goal, if you don't address it, will have the worst immediate impact upon your life. For instance, you have two bills, right? Or you have two goals. Sorry, you have two goals. One is I want to save up 6 months of emergency fund. So, in case I lose my job or something happens, I have money saved, right? The other one is I need to catch up I want to pay up my bill. I have a late gas bill, right? So this is two of your top five goals, but these are your top two, right? So for you to figure out which should be your top goal, you ought to use that approach. You either say which will have the most immediate benefit, and maybe the most immediate benefit would be saving money those 6 months. But on the other hand, there's the other side, which will have the worst immediate impact upon your life, right? And honestly, probably out of those two, it seems like not paying that gas bill, if it's due next month, for instance, it's going to have worse impact. So basically, you want to use that to help you determine how you're going to figure your goals. And then once you have figured out your goals, your top two, you use that process to select the top one. And then what you do is you keep working on goal number one, you keep working on it, and then once you make progress, then you move on to number two. So that's how you approach this with your goals. And then once completed, you keep going down that list, all right? And I'm just going to take a moment now. I'm checking the chat, just looking to see if there are any questions, and I don't see anything right now. Nobody has any questions, so I'm going to move forward with step number 3, all right? Step number 3, check your bills. So this is one, again, I have a quote for you. I'm a quote lady. I love quotes. I love them because quotes say what I don't say so succinctly for me in one or two sentences. So here's a great one that I have that I picked from Maya Angelou, and it says, "You can't really know where you are going until you know where you have been." And that is so true, right? You can't really decide, look, I'm going to go after this goal, I'm going to get my money in order in this way, if you don't know where you are now and you don't know what you're going to need to pay in the future. It won't be a realistic assessment. So what you do is you gather your bills and your financial documents. So you sit down, you set aside a few hours with no interruptions, so that you can go ahead and get together the documents that you need to. And it doesn't have to be fancy. You don't have to make a big fancy system. If you a simple manila folder, put them in a manila folder. You go through your monthly and your yearly bills and you just gather them all together. And that will help you get an idea of what's happening. And this will include things like your credit card statements, your cable bill, your renter's insurance, mortgage, life insurance, things like that. And this is really important because when you don't know a bill that's coming up, it can really have a derailing effect on what you're trying to do, So this is something that you'll want to do by getting a list together. You can write it up. Like I'm old-fashioned, honestly. I like writing things down. I see them on paper. I cross them off. So you can do it that way, or you can use electronic devices like apps. You can use different apps. There's different types that you can use. You can type up the list, whatever works for you. That's what you do. And so that's how you'll get an idea of what's happening. You put them together, and sometimes there are expenses you don't get an invoice for. Those things you're going to want to put down too. For instance, what I do is like birthdays and holidays, I make sure that I put those down. Like figure out how much you typically give for birthdays, or how much you usually spend on a birthday gift or Christmas gifts, and or Thanksgiving even. Like for me, I put down Thanksgiving because I help with the meal, things like that. So you write that down because these are things that you really do pay. So you put down your annual bills, your semi-annual bills, all of these things, your monthly bills, and you create a bills list, okay? And clients that work with me, I provide a list for them, a bills list, so that they can gather that information. Because as I said earlier, if you don't look ahead and you don't figure that out, you can get thrown off. For instance, I'll tell you my story. Right, one time, you know, I have life insurance that I pay for aside from work, and it's due twice a year. So it's a pretty fairly, hefty bill. And one time I forgot, I didn't put it on my list, like I needed to. And one month I'm sitting down and doing my budget. I'm like, oh, good, I'm great. I'm in great shape. I'm like, I have 400 extra dollars. I'm looking at my pay. I'm like, ooh, I have all this extra money. And then I realized a day or two later, this bill comes in the mail, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, I have a bill I have to pay. Now, thank goodness I had the money there. But the point is, this was the kind of thing where maybe I thought I was going to buy something or save some more money or whatever, and it would have thrown me off. So that's why you really want to take your time and put all these things together. Okay, so that's the whole point of checking your bills, getting those together. Okay, and then I'm just going to take a sip of water so I can keep talking. And if you need to do the same, get a sip of water, stretch, whatever you need to do. And I'm checking the chat too. I don't see any questions at this time, so I'm going to move forward on our next step here, which is going to be step number 4. And step number 4, check your credit report and your score. And honestly, for many of this can be very scary, very scary. And I will tell you, when I worked for New York City's Office of Financial Empowerment, like I said, I had over 100 meetings with clients and I coached them. And honestly, about 80% of them, they always guessed that their credit score was substantially lower than it was. They thought it was lower, or they thought there was some information that was bad that was in their report and they hadn't looked at it. But the truth is, it really usually wasn't the case. Now, there were times when it was true. Sometimes somebody said, you know what, I think my credit score is 400 and it was, or I think it's 750 and it was. But pretty much about 80% of the time, people, they guess the worst of their credit score and their credit report. So this is something you absolutely want to take a look at. It's critical because you want to know what's officially being reported about your financial credit worthiness and your credit behavior. Okay, so I suggest that you pull your credit report using annualcreditreport.com. They provide a free copy of your credit report every 12 months. And they give you one from Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. So you can get each of the 3 bureaus. You get it for free. Now, again, that's every 12 months. So you don't get it like, you have to wait a whole year before you order it again from a particular bureau. Okay. So that's how you do that. And again, that's free. And the only site you do want to go to that's approved by the Federal Trade Commission is annualcreditreport.com. That's where you go to get this. And you need to look at that credit report to know if mistakes are being reported about you too, so you can correct them. And another thing about getting your credit report, you can get it. You can stagger when you get them, like from annual credit reports. So say you don't want all of them at once. You don't have to get them all at once. Maybe you could get Experian in January, Equifax in June, and TransUnion in December. So you can pull them at different points, and that way you can see what's happening. Now, one thing about these reports, the reports do not include your credit score. So that's not included. So you can get those a couple of ways. You'll definitely want to know what your score is to see, they range anywhere from 300 to 850. And you can get them by going to Credit Karma, and that's actually a very good site. I was really concerned. I used them. I really get scared every time I put my social in anything, but they're really a very good site, and they're legitimate, and they provide for you 2 credit reports and 2 scores. Okay, so that's what they give you. They don't give you all 3, but they'll give you 2, and you can look at them as many times as you want to. You pulling your credit report will not lower your score. You have every right to see what's in your report and to monitor it, and that's a soft pull. and that will never be a problem for you, okay? So don't worry about that. So you can get your score from 2 bureaus using Credit Karma for free, or you can pay for a credit monitoring company where they'll provide all 3 reports and 3 scores for you. You can do that as well. And another good thing that has developed is that a lot of credit cards now offer a free version too of your FICO score. That's what that's called. So you can get them. So basically, if you have, they'll get it. They'll use one of the bureaus. So it depends on your credit card company. But the thing is that, if you have more than one card, you may be able to get your score from Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion across your cards, depending on which ones your credit card company pulls. So that's another way where you can keep track of your score. You don't get a credit report with that, but you can get a credit score from a lot of the credit card companies now, okay? So that's step 4. Check your credit report and score. And I'm just taking a look again at the chat, and no one has questions right now, right? Okay, nope, I'm taking a good look here. So we're going to keep going forward, and if you do have any, again, feel free to put them in that chat box. So number 5, check your budget. Number 5, and that is check your budget. And what you want to do now is you're going to use that bills list. Remember, that was back in step 3, number 3, check your bills. And you're going to want to put together information from step number 4, check your credit, right, and your score. Those 2 steps will help you to create an actual budget, one based on really what you're working with. And so the reason why you need to check your credit report and score before doing your budget is because you may discover that there's a debt that you were not aware of and that you need to now take care of. So you want to make sure that your bills list is really reflecting what you need to deal with. So, and I just wanted to tell you something, with debts on your credit report, there's something called a statute of limitation, which you probably have heard. There's various statute of limitations for various things, but they do apply also to credit, consumer debt, such as credit cards. So this statute of limitation, it varies by state, and it determines when a bill may no longer be owed and collectible. And again, this varies by state. So if you need help in determining if you still owe a debt, you can contact me to schedule a consultation, and I can take a look at your situation. And if I'm able to assist you, we can possibly schedule coaching. But sometimes a debt is no longer due, but that again depends upon the statute of limitations for your state. All right. So basically, once you know the situation with your credit report, and if you have any other issues, then you will put that into the bills list. And once your bills are clear, now you can create your budget. And again, I mentioned before, I'm old-fashioned, so I handwrite mine. I like seeing things on paper. I like crossing them off. However, if you like electronic or digital options, there are many options. You can use electronic options for budgeting, such as Mint.com, Money Strands, Bucksfur is another one. And a lot of banks do offer them too. Bank of America has a budgeting software tool in their app, so that's another option. And there's a digital option that I really like. The Federal Trade Commission, they offer a really cool free Make Budget worksheet. And you just go to consumer.gov and you just type in Make Budget worksheet. And what it is, it's a PDF. And so it allows you to enter data directly into the form if you have that form of the PDF software. And it calculates the totals as you enter them. You enter your income, you enter expenses, and then the worksheet will tell you whether it'll add it up, and it'll tell you whether you're operating with a surplus, where you have extra money, yay, every month that you can work with, or if you're working with a deficit where you're overspending, your expenses are more than your income. So that's a great thing about that particular free budget worksheet. So you may want to check that out. But whatever you do, you want to use whatever works for you, a worksheet, app, written list, whatever works best for you. With clients who work with me, I do provide a budget journal so they can use that, so I use that to help them for the next step. because then what you want to do is whatever you're using, you want to track your spending for 30 days. Or if that month has 31 days, 31 days, okay? So what you do is for 31 days or 30 days, you track what you spend and earn each day. And this is to help you get increased accuracy and clarity regarding what you're really earning and spending. And you're going to need to gain that if you want to improve your money flow. And so what I suggest is, say, if you use a booklet, like a journal, it's really easy. You just do something really simple, like you take one page, you put the date on there, like 9/1. So you start September 1st, 9/1. You get paid that day. Maybe you get paid twice a month. You put your income, 2,000 at the top. Then anything you've spent that day, like coffee, 2.49, like me, I drink coffee, right? You write it down. You put gas in the car, 10.50. You just write it down really quick. It's not complicated. This is just so you can start tracking what you're doing and get more clarity on what's actually happening, so you're not estimating. Because for the budget, you want to try to get as close to what you're really actually earning and spending, so you can really make progress. And so that's what you do. And I'll tell you about a client I work with, right? She was making very good income and doing really well in her career, and we worked on her budget. And in her budget, one area that she was spending money on was giving money to family, right? And she estimated that she was giving out like $150, right? And per month to family. And she was really committed to improving her cash flow. So she tracked her income. She took the notebook, she did it for a month, and then she came back. And when she came back, we sat down and we did her budget again, and we took her book, and what I did was I added up what she actually spent in each category. And when we added up what she gave to family members, she originally estimated about $150 that she was giving, but she actually was giving out more like $400 to $500. In that month, she gave out that much to her family. And I'm not going to go into all of it now, but that is going to be one of the webinars I'm going to do one day. I want to really work on that issue of money and family and how that impacts, your money flow. But the point is, it was a really eye-opening thing for her, because she saw that she was putting out a lot more money with her family than she thought. And so it was really good for her, and she decided to do it again. She committed to doing it again. So what you do is you'll find a tracking method that works for you, and it will be an eye-opening activity, because it has been for me as well. So that's that's the fifth step in checking your budget, okay? And like I said, with clients, I provide budget journals when they coach with me, and part of their packages that they do get this, one of their choice of this book to help them track what they're doing. And so we're going to recap those 5 steps again, okay? So number 1, check your mind. Number 2, check your goals. Number 3, check your bills. Number 4, check your credit and your credit score. And number 5, check your budget. So those are the 5 steps that you need to implement, and that will help you improve your money flow. Those are the 5 steps right there. And I just want to read a quote to you, because I told you I'm a quote lady, so I really am one of those quote ladies. So I have another one for you, and it's again from The Power of Focus, and I think it's really good to read at this point. And it says, it applies to this process, and it says, understand there are no shortcuts to building a life of substance. It's an ongoing process. It takes time, real effort, and a desire to become more than you already are. So that is a really good quote that I think applies. And so I wanted to share that with you. And then after those 5 steps are done, guess what happens next? After you do those 5 steps, rinse and repeat. You do them again. Practicing these 5 steps will help you get a handle on your money flow. It will help you, it really will. It'll help you feel organized. You will be organized, and understand improving your finances requires a system. It's not going to be one thing here, or small effort there. It's like the combination of these 5 steps, and then you fine tune your system as you go, because you'll see what's working for you, where you need to tighten it up, where you need to get more clarity. And so that's the whole idea here. So with these 5 steps, okay? And I'm just going to pause again, and I just wanted to see if anybody has any questions, revelations, or comments. Anything that anyone would like to share at this point? Okay, I don't see any questions or comments in the chat. So I'm just going to keep moving forward. Again, I know you're Todd, you're a very busy person, and I'm grateful that you're here with me today. And I just wanted to thank you as a thank you bonus for joining me on this webinar today. And to help me celebrate my website launch and my business launch, I will email you a complimentary copy of the top 10 ways to improve your money game. This expands even further upon today's topic. I went even more into it, and I'm offering some additional tips to help you get your money game even tighter. So I'm going to email that bonus to you after the webinar as a thank you for you joining me this evening. And I wanted to know, would you like help in implementing everything that I just showed you? These are some steps, and you can definitely do this on your own. However, if you would like hands-on help with this, if you'd like to work with me in this process, I have created a special offer because, again, I've been able to work with many clients, walking them through these steps, and having that accountability partner can sometimes make all the difference between you sticking with it and making progress and not. And using these steps, as I mentioned, I've helped clients. They've increased their credit scores by an average of 25 points or more. Clients have gotten rid of thousands of dollars of debt. And I've helped people resolve student loan issues, increase their savings. So I would love to help you do that too if you'd like help in those areas. And I do have a special offer to kick off my business and website launch, and I'm making that special offer to you as a webinar attendee. This is especially for you as an attendee to this webinar, because I really appreciate you joining me here. And I'm offering you what's called a 90-minute private Pick My Brain session. And that celebrates the launch of the business. And what you can do during this 90 minutes, you can work with me individually. And I'll walk you through any or all of the 5 steps we discussed today. So it would be private, and you can ask me all the questions you have, and I can help you create a strategy for your financial success based on these 5 steps. And a special offer for you as a webinar attendee is this 90-minute private Pick My Brain session. And extras that are included with this are, I provide session worksheets. Like I mentioned, I will provide the bills list, the goal sheet, even the worksheet if you'd like that as well, the budget worksheet. You will get a recording of your session to play back whenever you like at your convenience. It'll be the full session, so you don't have to worry about taking notes. You don't have to worry about let me make sure I write down what she's telling me. No, you just focus completely on getting the maximum benefit out of that session. And you won't have to take any notes, and I'll send that to you. You can record, you can listen to it and play it back as much as you like and at your convenience. And then on top of that, I also will provide 7 days of unlimited email support for additional questions. So you will be priority. Any questions you have after the session when we meet, anything you want to go over, you just send me an email and I will get back to you by the next business day. So even if you email me on that 7th day, you'll get your answer on the 8th business day, okay? So that's what's included in that private 90-minute Pick My Brain session. And as a special offer for you, the website launched today. The investment is $297 for this package. Typically, on the website, if you go there, you will see it's $397, and that's for non-attendees, anyone that visits the site. And this is available, only available to you, $100 off until Saturday, the 26th, this Saturday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this is my thank you to you to help you get started, to jumpstart your progress, and you can meet with me for 90 minutes and we can get you moving on these 5 steps. And what you do is you just visit my website and you go to this page here at improveyourfinances.net, the coaching section. And to apply, you just complete a few questions and we'll schedule a 15-minute good fit phone call. Because the way it works is I am 110% serious about my clients' goals and success, and I expect the same from clients. We work together 100%, 110% to get you where you need to go. It's a team effort. So to make sure that we're a good fit, that I'm a good fit for you and your needs and vice versa, just visit the site, take a few minutes, just fill out a couple of questions, and then just tell me what time is good to speak with you, and we'll schedule that 15-minute good fit phone call, okay? So if you're ready to improve your money flow right away and you'd like to give my coaching a try, just visit the link and we'll get that started, okay? And I have cleared my schedule for the next 48 hours. So for Thursday and Friday, I've made myself fully available and I would love to speak with you. So if you have any questions, just, send me that, fill out that little form, send it to me, and we'll take it from there. We'll see what we can do, okay? And I'll see how I can help you and what you need, okay? And I just want to let you know about other services I offer. I also, as I mentioned, I offer one-on-one coaching. I do have other packages as well. I have a 30-day package if you'd like to work with me for an entire month. I also do consulting and financial literacy workshop trainings, and I'm an event speaker as well. So all of these I do on the topics of personal finance, including the 5 steps we went over today and other areas too. So I just wanted to let you know that. And if you have enjoyed this webinar, I will be doing more very soon. So just sign up for updates at my website. My website is improveyourfinances.net. You can sign up for my blog. I have a heavy weekly blog. I have a weekly blog that I blog on various topics and a monthly newsletter. So if you'd like to get those, just go visit my site to sign up for that. And also you can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Google. I post every day on websites. I share tips, my thoughts, just anything that I think is going to be helpful to you. And I'm just going to check again. I just want to see if there's any questions here. All right, I don't see any questions. I'm checking that chat box. Okay. Well, you can wait until after if you'd like. I would definitely love to hear from you, okay? And I genuinely thank you for joining me on this webinar and helping me celebrate my website and my business launch. And feel free, please, to email me with any comments, any questions that you may have. I would sincerely love to hear from you, okay? And I wish you much abundance and peace on your journey. And I want to tell you thank you personally. I'm going to stop to just thank you. Thank you for joining me for my first webinar. And again, I'm Yolanda Ransom, and I wish you much peace and abundance, and have a good evening. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.